Tonight, the Trinidadian Prime Minister has made a powerful statement with regard to the meeting with President Trump and a select few Caribbean leaders. On the one-year anniversary of one of St. Lucia's brightest musical stars, his friends and loved ones speak on his legacy.
His contribution to the music in St. Lucia is immeasurable.
And we're still on the trail of a robbery at an education office on island. The details of these stories and more are coming up.
This is the Hot 7 Nightly News with Lovely and Amy Joseph.
Good evening. It is Friday, the 22nd of March, 2019. Welcome to the Hot 7 Nightly News. I'm Lovely St. Amy Joseph. Thank you for joining us. The St. Lucian Prime Minister was among other Caribbean leaders who met the President of the United States face-to-face on Friday. According to a press statement from the White House Press Secretary, the meeting is aimed at strengthening cooperation on security and trade issues and to thank the leaders for their support for peace and democracy in Venezuela. 5 Caribbean leaders, that of Jamaica, St. Lucia, Haiti, the Dominican Republic, and the Bahamas, were invited to meet with President Donald Trump at his Mar-a-Lago resort in South Beach, Florida. Footage of the meeting shows the St. Lucian Prime Minister making his statement to the U.S. President.
In their respective countries, and we'll be talking about many subjects. Trade, we always talk about trade, but we'll also be discussing, I have a feeling, Venezuela. That may come up in our conversation. It's become a very big topic all over the world, Venezuela. And we look forward to spending a lot of time together this afternoon and discussing ways that we can be beneficial to you and you can be beneficial to us. And we very much appreciate your being at Mar-a-Lago. It's a great honor. Thank you very much. Thank you, everybody. If you'd like to say something to the media, maybe we'll start with you.
First of all, I want to thank you very much for extending the invitation to St. Lucia to participate. I want to thank you for the support and leadership that you've been providing in our region. The United States is our biggest trading partner, and we'd like to think of the amount of trade that also the U.S. benefits from in the Caribbean. And so we're very much looking forward to these discussions today and seeing how we can enhance the relationship to our mutual benefits.
Very good. Thank you. Please.
Merci, Monsieur le Président.
Thank you, Mr. President. On behalf of Haiti and the United States are 2 countries that are not only friends, but very close. I am a friend, and Miami is actually less than 2 hours away from our island. And we are here this afternoon. We'll have discussions of good things, things that will be positive for both countries. Thank you.
Thank you.
Muchas gracias.
Thank you. Thank you all. Thank you, Mr. President, for your invitation. We thank you. The Dominican Republic and the United States of America are 2 important partners. In fact, the United States is our main economic partner, and we are here to discuss issues of the region, and we are here to your avail to collaborate. Thank you.
We look forward to discussions on energy, on trade, but on security as well. We look forward to discussing regional issues to do with the peace and stability of the region and how we can move forward with the prosperity of our people. So we thank you again for the invitation.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. I'm delighted to have been invited here today to discuss certain issues that are of mutual benefit to both of us. The Bahamas, the United States, have been our #1 trading partner. We are neighbors. We have great relationship. We will continue to foster such relationship. I know that the meetings and the discussion today will be very productive, and we expect to come out with positive views and feelings. Thank you very much.
I think that'll happen. Thank you very much. We appreciate it.
Discussions on further potential opportunities for energy investment were also on the agenda for the meeting. In related news, the Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago had some strong words regarding the meeting with Trump. He believes that the meeting goes against established protocols in the region which exist to promote pride and dignity of Caribbean people.
That there are people in Trinidad and Tobago who believe that because Trinidad and Tobago was not invited to the private residence of an American president, we are somehow diminished. Ladies and gentlemen, we have never stood taller. We have never stood prouder. As I speak to you now, CARICOM's position, as reaffirmed in the last meeting of heads in St. Kitts, is that there are 3 people representing and authorized to represent CARICOM outside of the heads and its caucus, and that is the chairman of CARICOM, who is the Prime Minister of St. Kitts Nevis, Trinidad and Tobago, through its Prime Minister or designate, and Barbados through its Prime Minister and designate. There are 14 CARICOM territories, yet the conversation is about 4, or is it 3? 4. The Dominican Republic is not a CARICOM country. And while we are in this era and in this subject, let me not, for fear that others might use Dominican Republic's invitation as some failure in Trinidad and Tobago's part to get invited, I want to remind you all that it was right here in the Caribbean where hundreds of thousands of Haitian people were made stateless in a Caribbean country on the basis of the color of their skin, rejecting the right of birth in a land where they were born because they were Haitians. We don't have those as our problems. We can only speak as the government of Trinidad and Tobago for the people of Trinidad and Tobago and for CARICOM when we are so authorized.
In other news, the CSA is warning the government to fix the workspaces of members within the Inland Revenue Department, or else they will not enter the premises come April, as they will be on strike. Claude Paul says he questions the government's apparent ignorance of the extent of the problems. Employees of the Inland Revenue Department, IRD, say they are long-suffering and are fed up. The Civil Service Association, CSA, as the workers' representative, has given notice of strike action to the Department of the Public Service. Workers have indicated via this notice that they will bear patience until the 1st of April 2019. But thereafter, CSA General Secretary Claude Paul says if health and safety issues are not addressed, strike action will commence immediately.
They have given regard to the fact that this is the filing season, but they are giving notice that come the 2nd of April, after the filing season is over, that they would not want to return to those conditions. They are willing to bear it in the meanwhile, being considerate, but are certainly not going to have to wait until the 26th of April for addressing this matter. Because you see, this matter has been going on for over a year, and that they believe that the time has come for some decisive action to be taken.
The letter noted that at a recent branch meeting of the Inland Revenue Department, CSA members expressed frustration with the length of time taken to resolve the relocation of the offices, given the serious air quality issues identified since last year.
The air quality issues across the public service, we've heard planning, the land registry, the Ministry of Education, the social transformation, many places have problems. And the issue is that every time it happens, the authorities seem to be taken by surprise. So I am wondering whether there is no provision made for dealing with those things.
Paul says the CSA is available for any further discussions the Department of the Public Service may wish to have on the matter. If the employees of the Inland Revenue Department are to proceed on strike, they would join a growing list of public officers who say they have had no choice but to resort to strike action. And now we hear from former Chief Medical Officer Dr. Stephen King, who advises fire service officers currently on strike to get back to work.
I see them as colleagues, as healthcare workers together with me. And I said, us healthcare workers, we answer to a higher power. There's the government, and yes, the government transacts with us, but we don't answer to government. We answer to the Most High, because that we deal with people. We deal with people's lives. We deal with God's creation, right? That is what is entrusted to us.
Dr. King spoke to Tresha Lionel on issues ranging from his regrets involving the St. Jude's construction fiasco and his thoughts on a national health insurance in her show The Hot Seat. Hot Seat is during the double take, which will air at 7 p.m. on Saturday. You're watching the Hot 7 Nightly News. When we come back, it seems no institution is immune to the callous minds of criminals, and the Bureau of Standards is being proactive in its approach to moving with the direction of regional marijuana movements. Stay with us.